Hello and welcome back to She Is the Moment podcast. I'm your host Shona, and if you've ever dreamed of making money while you sleep, then you're going to want to stay tuned to this episode. Can I tell you about a huge girl math win that I've had? So I used that phrase to my mum the other day and she was horribly offended by it because she was a maths teacher her entire life and she thinks that the phrase girl math is offensive to women, and yet I'm actually tempted to agree with her. But this was a huge girl math win, so let me tell you about it. Now, I am so into my skincare. Every single year, as a treat, I have bought myself the Space NK Advent Calendar, which is £250, right? It sounds really expensive, right? But it has so many goodies in there that last me for pretty much the entire year. So I only need to spend £250 once a year, and that's me got all my skincare right. I'm really, really into my skincare. It feels like an absolute lovely little daily act of self-care. It's very important to me. But this year, the Space NK Advent Calendar sold out in September. That is wild to me. Absolutely wild. It sold out in September and then you could not get it again. And that's a full 3 months before Christmas. And I was absolutely devastated because I love that feeling of opening every door in the little advent calendar every morning and having a little present. I'm like, oh, I'm really thankful to me for buying it all those months ago. But September is taking the absolute biscuit. Do you not agree? Now, as someone who is really interested in how businesses work, how they sell their services, how they leverage things like urgency and FOMO, as a buyer, that has massively put me off buying from Space NK again. Now, the reason for that is exclusivity is something that we can leverage within our business. But I feel like this is absolutely taking the biscuit. When you can't buy an advent calendar in October, in November, you have to have been so organized to get it in September. That feels beyond a joke to me. So anyway, my girl math win was I toddled on over from Space NK to Cult Beauty online, right? Cult Beauty website. There was no toddling. It was literally just close that window, open another window. And Cult Beauty had this offer on where if you spent £150, then you got a goodie bag. It was like worth £500 or something like that. You got an additional goodie bag for free, right? Now, they already had 2 goodie bags on offer, right? So one of them was, I think it was like, one of them was like £70. One of them was £50. And then I had to make up the rest to get my £150. And I think I bought a retinol. I then received through the post 3 giant goodie bags with like way more than 24 items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own beauty advent calendar, and Cult Beauty also gave me a £25 voucher, which I then spent and bought a Christmas present for my niece. I think that's a huge win. And in my eyes, I have saved myself £100 because instead of spending £250, I spent £150 and I got a lot more goodies. Now, I bet you're going to listen to this and I feel like you're going to be divided into 2 camps here. One of the camps will be the people who are really, really into skincare, who will be like, Shona, you have had a massive win and I'm really proud of you and I'm actually slightly envious. And the other camp of people will be people who just think that, Shona, there's some really big things happening in the world right now. And I know there are. If you are listening to this, then just a couple of weeks ago, someone really bad is going to now be in power of the entire world. But do you know what makes me feel better about that? Having beautiful skin. And I'm only half joking there. Okay, so let's move into the freedom win of the week. So the freedom win of the week is, again, my own. So this week, I have had a very poorly little toddler. He has had whatever is going round at the moment. Apparently, according to nursery, there was 10 off on one day, and he was one of them. And he's had a sore ear, sore throat. It's like a viral infection. Everyone's got it. And because of that, I have had to take some time off work. Now, there was a time in my life when if that had happened, if I'd had a phone call from nursery at 9:30 and they'd said, your son's not well, you need to come and get him, this would have been a huge disaster because I would have had like 5 clients to have to reschedule. I might have had calls to reschedule. I might have had classes that I was taking to reschedule, or at least get someone to cover those classes. I would have maybe, if I was thinking I might be off for a couple of days, I would have had to cancel those clients and I would have had to lose money. And it would have been a whole big stress. I would have had to probably call in my mum and get her to come and look after my toddler when all he really wants is his mum to cuddle him on the sofa. And it would have been a whole big disaster and it would have been really stressful. But I am really proud of myself and really glad that I've set up my business so that when I get that call at 9:30, all I did was I ran around the corner, picked him up from nursery, took him home, bundled him up in a blanket, and the two of us sat and cuddled on the sofa and watched Cars for the 100th time. And it was a lovely, cute day because see, if you've got someone who is a toddler, they are just really, really cuddly when they're unwell. They just want to be cuddled and you kind of think, oh, I really love this. This is really, really nice. But I'm really glad that I've set my business up that it wasn't a big disaster. I had a call booked in that day and all I did was just move for a couple of hours to when he was going to be having his nap. Great, that got sorted out. And everything else was fine. Like I love that I can still run my business, serve my clients, but I don't have to cancel clients. I don't have to lose money. I don't have to spend ages rearranging things or getting cover. It's all just lovely. And the thing is, right, what is extra lovely about that is then he's feeling a lot better now. You'll be glad to hear he's away back to nursery. I've decided, because I feel like I'm slightly coming down with this thing that he's had, and you're going to be looking at me thinking, Shona, you don't look like that at all. And I'm like, oh, thanks. I'm thinking I might just, as of now, just take the rest of the week off. And I'm recording this on a Thursday morning, and this might be me for the rest of the day. I have an appointment to get my nails done. All my clients have been served this week. If they send me an email or have to contact me, I'm just literally at the end of my Voxer. But I can be contacted from anywhere, and I love that about my business. And I think on that note, this is where the topic of the podcast is, right? So name of the podcast is Make Money While You Sleep. And if you're a coach listening to this, or you're a personal trainer, or you're someone who is client facing or helps clients, delivers a service, then you're going to be thinking, how do I do that? Like, I can't make money while I sleep because I see people in person or I coach people one-on-one. And if I am not there, then how can I make money? Because I make money from being present in some sense. Now, this is where something called a product suite comes in. So the first question you're going to be asking is, Shona, what is a product suite? So let me tell you, it's essentially a funnel made up of your different offers and services that suits several different types of buyers within your ideal client avatar at different stages of their journey. So here's why you need to have a product suite, because right now you are only serving people in a one-to-one sense. But this will allow you to scale your business so you can push past that income capacity, because now you can work with a one-to-many model as opposed to just a one-to-one model. It also allows you to be more accessible. So maybe, as I've said, someone isn't ready or doesn't have the financial means to work with you one-to-one, but really need and want your help. So you're able now to help more people and have more impact. A good product suite also gets people ready for your other offers. And I'm going to use my own business as an example here. So I have a membership, I've got a group coaching collective, and I have one-to-one partnership. Now, the idea is that I'm working within those 3 products, I'm working with online coaches and personal trainers within the fitness industry. But what a perfect situation would be is someone joins my membership because they're brand new to business. I help them get set up in business, help them get their first 5, 10, 15 online clients, right? So they're there and they've done really well. Then my coaching collective is to help them hit those consistent 5, 6, 7K months. Then they've done that, but they have a very specific problem that maybe, or like something that they want to work on. Maybe they have a launch that they want to work on, or they want to launch a particular offer. So then my one-to-one coaching might be ideal for them. So I am working with people at every stage of their journey within this particular journey. So brand new, right up to pretty advanced. And I would love to be the person who helps them all the way through. It also helps with retention on that same note, because you aren't always having to look for new clients all the time. So again, using my own business for an example, I've had people join my business through downloading my freebie, which is my mini course, and then they'll move into my membership. And then either after being in my membership for a while, they will move to the coaching collective or one-to-one. And equally, I've had people work with me one-to-one, move to the coaching collective. So it's not always moving down the funnel. Sometimes they move back up the funnel, but the key is they are staying inside my funnel. And that sounds kind of rude and kind of sexy, and I love it. So before we go on to how to create a product suite with irresistible offers, I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes that commonly people make within creating a product suite. And the first one is creating offers that don't have a clear transformation that is different from each other. And a really obvious example of this is I used to be a pre and postnatal coach, and I had a group coaching program called Shona Strong Mums. And inside that program, it was for postnatal mums who wanted to get strong again, lose fat, and also get a little bit of exercise as well, because I taught them yoga every week, but I also gave them a strength program and a nutrition program. So I was giving these people a lot for the money. It was pretty much one-to-one coaching. But then I had one-to-one coaching as well, and I couldn't actually say the difference between group coaching and one-to-one coaching. So if a mum came to me, someone who is relatively new postpartum, and she wanted to build strength, lose a bit of fat, and have some accountability, then I was having a hard time to persuade her to move to one-to-one. She would say, well, I get all of that within your group program and it's cheaper, so why shouldn't I just do that one? And I couldn't argue with her because they were far too similar. So if you have a group program and a one-to-one service, it's really, really key that it's clear that there's a different transformation and that they will be getting something different out of each offer. So the second mistake, and this is another one that I have made, is that you create an offer without actually thinking about your lifestyle. So I created a pregnancy program. Again, this was back before I was a business coach. I had a pregnancy program. And again, I really wanted to give these women a lot. I wanted them to have some sort of yoga and movement, because obviously I'm a yoga teacher. And then I discovered, sounds a bit obvious, pregnant people tend to work. They're not off yet. They're not on maternity leave yet. So if I was going to teach them yoga, then I would have to be doing it at night. And I also had a toddler at the time, and I was having to schedule it at 8 o'clock at night, because my toddler took a while to go down. I would start putting him down at 7:30, and it might still be like 7:45 or whatever before I got him to sleep. So my yoga had to start later on. And then by the time the yoga finished, it was 9 o'clock and ready for bed. And I felt like I'd been working all day. And then also if I wanted to do any sort of like group call or masterclass, it had to be in the evening. So that was a huge mistake for me, because I was creating something that just didn't actually fit my lifestyle. So a product suite is only smart and life first if it takes into consideration your lifestyle. So in regards to that, I want you to ask yourself, what are some non-negotiables for you? Like, will you definitely not work evenings? Do you have a particular preference for how you like working? Do you really crave community? Do you really enjoy working with people one-on-one? This is one thing that I will say that I have said to a lot of my clients. See if you are missing something in your life. Like, you need company, you need human interaction. Don't get it from your business. Look, I totally get it. Sometimes I will get to the end of the day and the only human beings that I have spoken to have been my partner and my baby, and potentially the barista at Starbucks. But what I don't want you to do is get everything that you want out of life from your business, because it's still work. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I'm feeling a bit lonely because I'm an online coach, I don't really get to see people, well, go out and see people, go out and make friends, or even just catch up with your friends. I used to have a WhatsApp group of other online coaches, and we'd meet up for coffee, and it was really, really fun. Do not think I need to make friends, I need that community vibe, so I'm going to start a group program, because that is not the right reason to start a group program. Another mistake is creating an offer where you're over delivering. And again, this is kind of aligned with having your offers compete with each other. So if you create a membership or like a low ticket offer, like something that people can like join, and it's pretty cheap and there's a very clear and simple transformation, like this is going to help you with your strength training, we don't want to be over delivering. So you want the more VIP options to be the more high touch options. So the more someone invests in you, the higher ticket price, the more contact they get with you. So if, for example, you've got a membership and it's like £30-40 a month, there shouldn't really be any one-to-one aspect there. Maybe there's a sort of one-to-many aspect, but there should not be any coaching as such. That should be left for your higher ticket offers. So if you're over-delivering, that can be a huge mistake within your product suite as well. Next mistake is creating an offer because lots of other people are doing it. Now, I used to work for a coach called ESG, and she had a 6-week fat loss program called Commit to 6. And honestly, every single coach was doing that. And it was her signature program, but honestly, every other coach was doing 6-week programs. There was a success in 6, there was a sweat in 6, there was a 6 and something. Honestly, every single person was doing it. Now, it was her signature program, and it was what she is known for. But if you're just doing something because someone else is doing it, then chances are you're not going to be fully aligned with it. And people are going to say, oh, I've seen that she does it and it looks a lot better than what you're doing, so I'm just going to go over there. So we don't want to be copycats. We want to be coming up with something that is authentic and original to us. Next mistake is not doing market research. So not actually finding out if the offer that you're thinking of creating is actually needed. And I would actually recommend, see if you do have an idea for a new offer, do some market research. So get some current clients or some ideal clients that follow you, reach out, say, do you know what? I've got an idea for something, but can I just pick your brains about it? And people love being involved in market research because they feel like they have helped you create it. They love doing you a favor. So ask them a question like, if you wanted to achieve XYZ, what would you feel would be needed in order to get you there? And I think in the last episode of this podcast, one of my clients was asking like why no one turned up to her group call, and she was a pre and postnatal coach. I'm going to bet that she hadn't actually conducted market research and asked her ideal client if a group Zoom call is what they actually need when their goal is to lose fat and get stronger again. So make sure that you're actually asking people, like, is this something that you need? Is this something that would help you solve your problem? And what do you think would help you get there? You can also ask them about the sort of pricing as well, but in my opinion, people are always wrong when you ask them about the pricing, and they will always say that it's too expensive, or they will say, no, I would only pay this for it. So don't get in your head about pricing. I probably wouldn't ask them about it, but I would ask them all those other questions as well. And then the final mistake that people make is having a price point or having different price points amongst your different offers that don't actually make sense. So for example, if you have one-to-one coaching and it is £250 per month, but you have a group program that's £199 per month, like there's just not that much of a difference. So people are always going to be like, oh, why is there only like £50 difference between your group program and your one-to-one? Like it kind of undervalues your one-to-one and makes people think, well, that sounds a bit expensive for your group program as well. So there needs to be a very clear distinction between each of your offers. Hello, health and fitness professionals. It's that time of year again. You know, the day when people are willing to elbow a granny in the face just for a discounted air fryer. Yes, we're talking about Black Friday. Well, how about this November? You do things a little bit differently and instead actually invest in yourself. This Black Friday, I've got a couple of deals for you that will actually move your business forward in terms of income and impact, while creating the freedom-filled lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Are you ready? Right now, you can get 6 months inside the Liberation Lounge for only $199 instead of the usual $294, which is 33% off. Or if you're ready for a longer term commitment with even bigger savings, you can join for 12 months for only $349, which is a huge 40% off. Now, a lot of you are going to be so excited to hear that my signature coaching collective, Unfucking Stoppable, is also part of the Black Friday magic. So if you're an established online coach wanting to hit consistent 5 to 7K months, then listen up. If you join before the 29th of November, you'll get a free one-to-one strategy session with me where together we will quickly address what is holding you back from those consistent high income months. You'll also get 2 more check-in sessions with me where we make sure you're staying focused and on track with your goals. Now, this VIP bundle is worth over £1,000, but if you join in the month of November, you will get that completely free. But here's the catch, these spots are limited, so it is first come, first served, which is why I'm letting you, my loyal podcast listeners, hear about them first before I announce them to anyone else. The links to both of these Black Friday offers are in the show notes, so run, don't walk. Happy Black Friday! Okay, so moving on. Signs of a really good product suite are that we keep people within this funnel. Now, if we imagine our product suite is a funnel and we've got the top of the funnel where people enter and then they stay in the funnel and move all the way down, and then at the bottom of your funnel is your high ticket offer. And generally the start of your funnel is a freebie, right? So again, going back to my own product suite, I have a freebie, which is a free mini course. It's called Roadmap to Consistent 5K Months. It is an incredible freebie. I highly recommend you go and download it just now. In fact, that will be in the show notes. So go and download my free mini course. It has 3 videos, steps to help you hit 5K months. It's amazing. I put my heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears into it. So go and download it now. But yeah, a lot of people have downloaded that course and got a lot from it, right? Because I gave so much into that course, I've had such good feedback on it. Like I've had about 60 people download it. I get so much feedback on it. Like this has been really helpful, Shona, because I have given so much with that freebie and they feel like they've learned a lot from me. They feel like they know me as well because they've had a little experience of being coached by me. Then they're probably more likely to stay inside that funnel. So within that freebie, then I market all my other offers to them. So they might move on to my membership, which is for coaches who are quite early on in their journey. Maybe they are personal trainers, but they want to be online coaches and they want freedom and flexibility. So they might move down the funnel to my membership, but they also might move straight from the roadmap to 5K months to my coaching collective. Now that's called Unfucking Stoppable, and it is a mastermind coaching collective. There's a full video training with so many different modules. We've got market research, product suite, pricing, messaging, content strategy, story sales strategy, and lots of different mindset topics as well. And then on top of that, they also get coached by me as well once a fortnight, and they can send me content for review. So that is a really, as group programs go, very high touch. And then we've got my high ticket offer, which is my one-to-one coaching. And that's my one-to-one partnership. And that is where my super VIPs stay. They get a lot from me. And because of that, I keep those numbers relatively low. But obviously that's my example. So what I'm going to do now is give you a couple of examples of my own clients right now who have come to me and completely fleshed out their product suite because their goal is to make money while they sleep. Now, specifically with this client of mine, her goal is to not only make money while she sleeps, it's to make money while she gives birth because she has a baby on the way due sort of early to mid next year. And she really wants to be in a position where she is still getting money in her bank account every month while she is off sitting on her bum, breastfeeding, watching TV, having a jolly, lovely time. So what we are doing is we are launching a few different offers. And the thing is with these offers, they're going to be relatively hands-off. So she offers one-to-one coaching right now. She is a mobility specialist and her one-to-one price is pretty high ticket as it goes. When we're looking at the average across the fitness industry, hers is pretty high because she has this really unique set of skills. I'm sounding like Liam Neeson from Taken. She has a unique set of skills, but she is also very recognized within the industry as being an expert. Like that is one thing that she is very good at and she had before coming to me. So she was able to have a high ticket price for her one-to-one. And she's also relaunching a hub, right? So she's called it a hub. Essentially, it's a membership. It's a low ticket offer because she has a lot of followers and a lot of people who really love what she does because she's a big personality. She's really well known. She's really respected, but not all of them have like a specific mobility issue that requires one-to-one support. But they are interested in getting her help. So it made sense for us to launch a hub. Now, inside the hub, there's going to be a community chat, and she's also going to put new content inside that hub every month. What she's going to do in the lead up to her having her baby is she's going to fill that hub full of people and have all her content that she's going to be uploading pre-recorded. So all she needs to do is once a month, hit the button on her laptop, click upload, and that new content goes up there. And everyone inside the hub is super happy, chatting away, getting more mobile every single day, feeling really strong and flexible. And she's going to tell me, Shona, you don't know what you're talking about. And I don't really know what I'm talking about there. But her hub is doing really, really well. She's in the launch period of it just now. And we're only in November. Her baby isn't due until just before the summer. So what our focus is on is filling that hub up, filled with people, so that she's going to have 1 to 2K of recurring income every month just from the hub, right? With very little work. The second thing we're going to do is launch a completely hands-off downloadable program. Now, this person, as I said, she is very, very well respected, but she's also a former professional cyclist. She has competed, I'm pretty sure, at the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games. I'm pretty sure she's got medals. She's really, really good at stuff, right? Okay, she's really good at cycling. So she is well respected within the industry as being an authority within the cycling space. So she is going to create a completely hands-off strength program for cyclists. And she's already had a lot of interest in that. Now, this program is going to be just downloadable. So they pay the price, click download, and they have like 8 to 12 weeks worth of programming and tips and advice on, getting strong as a cyclist. That is all pre-done. This is all work that she is doing now so that she can create content, sell this hands-off program, and always have like money coming into her bank account. So her goal is going to be X amount of people within the hub, X amount of people downloading this program, because obviously it's a one-off payment. And then obviously she's got her one-to-one clients as well. What she's going to do with her one-to-one clients is, while she's having her baby, she's going to take 3 months off, which sounds glorious to me. She's going to, for those 3 months, have them on a downgraded version of one-to-one. Obviously, she's not calling it a downgrade version, but it's so that she can keep them without having to do as much coaching. So she's going to have them still pay her money, but they're paying less than they're currently paying, but it means that she's holding on to them, and then they have a start date to go back up to her higher ticket offer. But then also she's got her hub, so her one-to-one clients, if they don't want to move to that, they can move to the hub and then come back to one-to-one. And finally, she is also going to be pre-selling spots for one-to-one, and this is something that you can do. If you can even do this right now, right? So say you want to guarantee that you have income coming in until January, February, March, you want to sell spaces for one-to-one, you can start people chipping away at payment plans, or you can even take deposits from people so that they start working with you later down the line. So this is what she'll do just before she takes her 3 months off. She will be advertising her one-to-one spots to start when she starts back. And those people can either pay her money while she's off, they can pay her like a recurring fee to start chipping away at the cost of those months working with her, or they can pay a deposit. And again, that is still adding money to her bank account. So the name of this podcast is Make Money While You Sleep. But really, over and above that, that's just a bit of a clickbaity title. It's being able to make money while you are not working. So you can get yourself in a position like my client where you can take time off for life events like having a baby, and you can feel fully rested, but at the same time fully supported by your business because you are making money while you are not working. And that is the goal and the dream of a life first business. So you've been listening to this and you are raring to go. You are thinking, Shona, I want to go and launch some new offers. Right, okay, so here are 3 questions to ask yourself that will help you come up with a great idea. Okay, first question. Does this offer solve a problem or fulfill a desire? And that's a really, really easy question to ask yourself. And I think a lot of people get tripped up with this because they create an offer without asking themselves this question. So it really needs to simply solve a problem. So your problem is you don't know what to post. I will help teach you what to post inside Unfucking So your problem is you don't know how to pivot from being an in-person coach to an online coach. That's great. Come and join my membership. So your problem is you don't know where to get started with expanding your offer suite, but you also want help with your messaging, but you also want to free up some free time in your diary. Okay, my one-to-one coaching is for you. So it needs to clearly solve a problem or clearly get someone to a desired outcome. Next question to ask yourself, does my ideal client really want and need this? Okay. Do they really want and need this? And this is really all about the positioning of your offer messaging, because you can create something like, for example, once upon a time, I created a confidence course. It was called Get the Fuck Out Your Way. I loved it. I put so much into it. It was really, really fun. But when I'm thinking about helping someone be more confident, does a person who wants to be more confident, do I think objectively that an online course is going to help them do that? I think if someone wants to be more confident, they need some sort of coaching. They need some sort of like constant reminder and way of putting these new skills into practice. So I made a confidence course, 7 modules, 7 videos they watched, and I sold it, right? And it did pretty well. I probably made a couple of £1,000 from it. But something just wasn't sitting right for me because I could see how much of the content people were watching. So they were paying for it. I could see that they were watching maybe 4 or 5 videos, but they weren't finishing the whole thing. Or sometimes people might even download it and not watch any of the videos. Now, I'm not in control of them watching the videos because it's a hands-off course. And I was like, I don't know if this is actually fulfilling the desire, because I don't think a confidence course is what these people want or need. What I do think they need is some sort of accountability. So what I did was I took what was in the confidence course and made that some of the modules within my membership. So this is something that we can all learn, is that your product suite is not fixed. You can create an offer and decide, I don't think this is really working, so I need to change it. So that's what I did. I changed the hands-off course to a membership, and I found that was much more successful, and I could see people inside the membership actually getting so much more from those particular modules. What we need to remember is your product suite is not fixed. If something is not working, then we just need to make a change. The ones who get furthest in business are the ones who look for solutions instead of focusing on problems. And the final question to ask yourself is, will this help me hit my financial goals? Good question, Shona. Now, not every one of your offers is going to be a massive money maker, right? So it's not going to be like one is the silver bullet. Generally, you need to have a bread and butter offer. So for most people, that's going to be one-to-one coaching. That's going to be bringing in the majority of your income. But if we look at our overall income goals, then all of our offers need to help you hit that. So if you're creating something that is like £5, you're going to need a lot of people to buy that offer to make any sort of impact on your income. So have a think about that. Like, is it going to help you hit your financial goals? And if I look at all the different income streams that I have, one of my offers obviously has such a bigger chunk of that, but it's also made up by a combination of my other offers as well. So that again helps me have business goals and then content goals, because I can think, right, I need this percentage of my income to be increased right now. I need more people inside that offer. So my goal is going to be really to fill out that offer, or I need maybe just one person inside this offer to hit my income goal. Right, okay, I'm going to make content for that person. So go out and have a think about how you can serve people in lots of different ways so that you can have a lot more freedom and flexibility within your business. You can earn more without working more. Good luck. Okay, let's move on to the membership question of the week. Now, this question is not actually from the membership. This one is from Unfucking my coaching collective, and I just thought it was such a good question, so let's answer it. I asked last week about how often you look at one-to-one clients' food logs, as I have this client who's only logging a couple of times a day and wants me to check her log every day to make sure she's done it. I currently look at her log on a Friday when I do her check-in. I tried to ask her to send me daily screenshots of proof of her logging, but she said she wants me to do the pulling instead of her doing the pushing. Do I just suck it up and look at her food diary every day? Okay, so it sounds a little bit like this person is being taken for a ride. Now, if you have a client like this, the hard truth is it is your fault. This is really hard. This is harsh. And I know the person's asked this question. She's worked with me the longest out of everyone, which she doesn't know this. She has actually worked with me the longest out of everyone, and I love her so much. She's a total legend. So she wouldn't mind me saying that. She's probably had this client for a while because her messaging has changed drastically, and she just had a really exciting rebrand. So I don't think she's going to get a client like this ever again. But if you have clients like this, I'm going to say again, it's your fault, because you are bringing that person in with your messaging. When I was a pre and postnatal coach, right, and I've told this story before, I was the person who was so on it postpartum. Like, I made time to rehab from day one, right? Because this is such a huge part of my life. Obviously, I was like, goes without saying, I was a really attached mum, but a priority for me was rehabbing and looking after myself, right? So from day one, I was doing the breathing exercises, I was doing the core exercises, I was building it up slowly, I was doing the progressive overload, I was totally on it with my diet. I always made sure I had time to go to the gym from 6 weeks. I made sure my partner was able to help me look after my baby so I could rehab my body, because it's my job. I work in the fitness industry. I coach people to rehab their bodies, or I don't anymore. I did at the time. It was important for me to live that life, right? But there was a huge disconnect between who I was as a person and who I was coaching, because my content was bringing in people who were nothing like me, people who were full of excuses, people who had a bit of a victim complex, because I was encouraging that. I was enabling that with my content. I was bringing in someone who thought that they could do the bare minimum and get results because I was telling them that. But there was a disconnect between that and my actual reality, because I wouldn't accept the bare minimum for myself. I would be out there working hard, not making excuses, not having a victim mindset, but I was enabling that in my clients. Now, what's clearly happened here is this person is thinking that she's literally said it, I want you to do the pulling instead of her doing the pushing. Wow. I would be like, I'm thinking right now, you're not going to get far in life if you think that's how this works. So what I would be saying to this person is that in order to get results, like, you have to put the work in. It's going to be a bit of a challenging situation because this person is telling you how they want it done, but we know that's not how it works. So with this person, I think that you would need to be quite assertive, and people who are trying to push your boundaries do, in my experience, react well when you stop that happening, when you meet that with your assertion, because it's almost like they're like, come on, like they're pushing you so that you do something, right? They want a reaction out of you. So if you are like, No, I'm not going to check your MyFitnessPal every day because that's not what I do as a coach. If you want to get results, I'm going to expect you to log everything that you eat. And currently what you're doing is you're logging your breakfast, your lunch, and then you're just eating whatever you want and then just thinking, fuck it. And obviously you're going over your calories and wondering why you're not getting results. And you're blaming me for your lack of results when actually it's because you're not doing what I'm telling you. So next time you take a client on, I want you to make sure that I'm going to say lay down the law. It doesn't have to be like that. You can obviously do all these things with kindness, but I need you to explain to them how you work. And the reasons behind why you work the way you do is because you want them to get results as much as possible. So you're not going to be expecting anything less than a certain level of commitment from them. So I said to her, this is not how this works. You didn't agree to daily checks of someone's MyFitnessPal. Most coaches would be looking once a week. Actually, my coach looks at my MyFitnessPal once a week, but that's the first coach that I've ever had that looks at MyFitnessPal. But do you know what? It keeps me accountable to MyFitnessPal because I know she's looking at it. I said, she's a grown woman. It's not much to ask her to send screenshots. And then she replied, thanks, Shona. This is how I feel too. I just don't know how to get around it because she says she doesn't feel like she's being watched. So again, that is just another red flag to me because we're all adults here in this situation. You're not a childminder. You're not like that person that follows someone around and slaps a donut out of their hand. Like that is not how this works. And that is not how someone has sustainable lifestyle change if they feel like the only way they can get results is if someone is watching everything that they do. So again, this is a bit of a red flag. And I would ask if it really, really matters to you that you have this client, because some people are just not worth the impact that they have on your sanity. So I would be saying to this person, I would possibly give them a little bit of an ultimatum and say, look, this is how I work. And you are expecting something that I don't actually do. I don't check someone's MyFitnessPal every day. I expect most of my clients to meet the bare minimum of tracking each day on MyFitnessPal. If you don't want to do that, then maybe we need to look at another alternative, but I am not going to check your MyFitnessPal or like send you a daily message to make sure you've uploaded to MyFitnessPal. That is not how this works. I have lots of clients. Maybe we need to look at another option, or maybe I'm not the coach for you, which is completely fair enough. Like, if you feel like you need to let someone go, that's absolutely fine, but we need to take this on as a learning experience. So the clients that you bring in are 100% a reflection of your messaging and your values as you message them. So if you bring in people who are hard work, it's because you have brought them in. If you bring in people who are ready to make a change in their life, feeling motivated and empowered, ready to push themselves and work hard, then again, well done. That is because of your messaging. We also need to start pre-qualifying people when we bring them in. And when you get to a stage in your business where you don't feel like you have to just take on any person, because let's face it, we've all been there. When you get to a place where you are earning really decent recurring income and you feel totally secure and safe in your business, you don't have to just take on anyone. You can pre-qualify people and maybe have a conversation with them, ask them certain questions. And if you are getting red flags, then it is not a good relationship to have. And I can tell you right now, I am in a stage in my business where I don't take on just anyone, and I love it. In fact, I had someone contact me about working with me. And I always like to pre-qualify people because I want to make sure that they are fun to work with and we're also a good fit for each other and that I'm actually going to be able to help them. So I was asking her questions and she was giving me one-word answers. And I was like, no, I don't want to work with someone who can't even type out a full sentence. Like, I was asking her a question that wasn't a yes or no answer. I was like, tell me a bit more what you're struggling with. And she would write one word. And I was like, can you expand on that a little bit? Another word. And I was like, nah, sorry, babes. You're going to have to give me more. Now, if this person comes back and types more than one word and gives me a little bit more, great, we can work together. But I'm not going to do all of the legwork when it comes to that. Like, I am too busy. I have too many clients in order to take on someone that isn't going to do more than the bare minimum and type more than one word. It's a lovely place to be. So go out, bring in those dreamy, ideal clients that are ready to work hard in all of your range of irresistible offers. I hope you've enjoyed this week's podcast. If you have, please rate, subscribe, give it 5 stars, all the good stuff. If you want to ever reach out, ask me a question, you can message me on Instagram at unapologeticallyshona, or you can email the podcast at sheisthemomentpodcast@gmail.com. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.